This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
He was a person that was going all the way. He was going to be a general.
They're rational actors who want to catalyze the end times.
Can you explain what a man's head is?
Basically, it was a report of a rocket launcher.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Doing the hardest job. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mark Webster. President Trump says that's what a dignified transfer ceremony of fallen U.S. service members is for a president. He was present at one this morning in Dover, Delaware, for the 4 soldiers who died during Iranian attacks this weekend. He spoke about one of the fallen, Tyler Feehan, at an afternoon speech in Georgia with his family present.
He was a person that was going all the way. He was going to be a general. Standing there and watching this sight, which is the toughest thing I do, if anything I do. To Sherry and Stephen and David, we will carry Tyler's memory in our hearts forever, and I just want to thank you. It's an honor to have you here today. Please.
The U.S. has struck Iran 11 days in a row now, and Iran keeps right on counterpunching. Air raid sirens going off over Jordan after they intercepted 4 Iranian missiles. Trump has vowed that every Iranian attack on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz will result in the U.S. destroying an Iranian bridge or power plant. And Trump may be considering a new target as well.
The Pentagon is giving the president options to hit Iran's Pickaxe Mountain, which Israel says could be a hiding spot for its nuclear arsenal.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich. Retired U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 member Bradley Geary tells News Nation.
The air campaign against Iran continues to beat them down, but it clearly hasn't stopped them. It hasn't stopped their will to resist. They're rational actors who want to catalyze the end times per their doctrine, their ideology.
Geary says Trump eventually has to go after the leadership of the Iranian regime. Secretary of State Marco Rubio at a summit in the Philippines, meeting with China's foreign minister. Just where do things stand right now between the U.S. and China?
The difficult job of geopolitics and foreign policy is managing your differences and not doing anything that runs contrary to our national interests, but at the same time trying to avoid conflict that could lead to something really catastrophic for the world.
Rubio says China agrees with the U.S. that Iran shouldn't be allowed to charge ships for using the Strait of Hormuz. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani has walked back a threat to have NYPD arrest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on an international criminal court warrant for alleged war crimes if the Jewish leader visits the United Nations. But the Democrat socialist isn't backing away from accusing Netanyahu.
I can also look at Benjamin Netanyahu and see the way that he has orchestrated this genocide and also deem him to similarly be a war criminal.
Mamdani says federal authorities should try to arrest Netanyahu. Former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife will head to trial next year over their alleged participation in drug trafficking. The couple appeared in court in New York City today. Fox's Brian Yennis was there.
Maduro and Flores face federal cocaine trafficking and weapons charges. Maduro also faces a narco-terrorism charge. If convicted, they face up to life in prison. Prosecutors allege that for 25 years, Maduro ran Venezuela like a drug trafficking organization.
That trial set to begin June 1st. Maduro says he's innocent. He's still president of Venezuela and is a U.S. prisoner of war. No major issues so far after Tropical Storm Bertha made landfall along the Gulf Coast this afternoon in Louisiana. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry says preparation has been key.
We have been working closely since Sunday with the state and local partners to make sure that the city was prepared, that had this storm turned out to be a much greater threat or produced heavier rainfall, that we were ready.
Bertha is expected to dump up to 4 inches of rain along the coast. U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics finds more workers ages 55 and older are stepping away from the workforce, especially women.
New labor data is showing fewer older women are working or actively looking for work compared to recent years. At the same time, labor force participation among Americans 65 and older has slipped from its 2019 peak as more baby boomers reach retirement age. Economists say the trend could make it harder for employers to fill jobs and replace experienced workers. I'm Monica Nelson.
And a bizarre scare at New York City's LaGuardia Airport for an incoming Delta jet yesterday.
Delta 2604 LaGuardia Tower, runway 22 clear to land, man pad alert.
All right, clear to land, runway 22. Could you explain what a man pad is?
Yeah, that's a man portable air defense system. Basically, it was a report of a rocket launcher.
Thankfully, that report turned out to be not credible. Still to come here on the 5 o'clock report, a recap of our top regional stories for you, highlights from today's Inside Out feature with Martha Manikas-Foster, and spreading the love at a Chick-fil-A. All coming up after Weather with Kevin.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. Cool night coming up tonight and some beautiful weather for tomorrow and Friday. This as sprawling high pressure builds across our region from the upper Great Lakes. That high will hold firm Saturday as well, which looks like a nice day before a cold front arrives. That'll generate some showers and thunder later on Sunday and Sunday night. Our call for tonight, a spot shower, patchy clouds early. Otherwise, it'll clear out. It'll cool off. Low temps mid-40s to the mid-50s. For tomorrow and Friday, lovely days with plenty of sunshine, gentle breezes, and low humidity. High temperatures tomorrow in the 70s. High temperatures on Friday, close to 80.
Thanks, Kevin. Now checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. Those Canadian wildfires continue to take a toll on air quality in New York and Pennsylvania, and experts say this could be the new normal. SUNY ESF Assistant Professor Richard Ross Shaker tells Spectrum News our region may have to get used to having air quality alerts in place.
This potentially could be a new normal or a continuing normal for us.
The Consul General of Canada in New York, Tom Clark, says the current conditions are creating all the chaos.
Draw a line from Texas up to Minnesota, and that is the band of drought that we're experiencing in the boreal forest. Temperatures, on average, 10 degrees higher than normal.
Canada has invested more than $12 billion into mitigation efforts over the last 5 years, including training more firefighters, buying more water bombers and helicopters, and looking into some high-tech solutions. In the meantime, experts advise just keeping up with those air quality alerts, watching weather patterns, and planning your outdoor time accordingly. There was a massive fire at a well-known farmer's market in Penfield, New York overnight. The main building at Bowman's Farm Market and greenhouses completely destroyed.
13 WHAM learned of this fire at about 2:30 this morning over the scanners, and this turned out to be a 2-alarm fire. And according to the Bowmans, nobody was hurt in this fire. And this is a long-running family-owned farmer's market. They've been around since 1908, so over 100 years.
No word on the cause of that blaze yet. The bacteria that causes Legionnaire's disease has been confirmed in a building at Rochester Regional Health's St. Mary's campus. Officials are working with the state health department to monitor the situation and put some precautions in place. They say they're aware of one individual who might have contracted the illness while at the hospital. They say there's no disruption to patient care, though, and that the risk of exposure to patients and staff remains low. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court is out with a landmark decision regarding hunting clubs and private property. We hear the details from Family Life's Jeremy Miller.
The justices sided with 2 local hunting clubs in a constitutional challenge against the Pennsylvania Game Commission, ruling that government officials generally must obtain a warrant before entering certain posted private property. The court ruled unanimously in favor of the Punxsutawney Hunting Club and Pitch Pine Hunting Club, concluding that provisions of the Pennsylvania Game and Wildlife Code, which allow warrantless entry onto posted private property, violates the state constitution. The court held that landowners who clearly mark or secure their property have a reasonable expectation of privacy that is protected under the state constitution. Jeremy Miller, Family Life News.
Thank you, Jeremy. 18-year-olds in Pennsylvania aren't registering to vote. At least according to a new study from the Civic Center, just 22% of 18-year-olds in the Commonwealth have completed their voter registration, the lowest rate in the country. Oregon has the highest rate in the U.S. 86% of their 18-year-olds have registered to vote. It was a familiar jingle to Western New Yorkers. But that Niagara Falls, Ontario attraction closed, displacing some rather large residents. In this case, 4 3,300-pound beluga whales. Well, their new home, the famed Shed Aquarium in Chicago. But as you can imagine, how to move whales is a big question. The answer involves a cargo jet, a huge lift, a truck filled with water, and an entourage of marine experts and staffers to keep them as calm as possible during the journey.
It involves people at each step that can accompany the animal and assess it to ensure that it is going to be transported stress-free and problem-free.
The team did a whale of a job. All 4 belugas now getting used to life in the Windy City. Yeah, I think they liked it. The park's remaining whales will head out to other aquariums, including SeaWorld in San Diego, the Georgia Aquarium, and even Oceanographic Valencia in Spain. And the Little League World Series. It's just 4 weeks away now. All but 2 spots in the international bracket have been filled. Europe and Africa going at it today. Canada and the U.S. regions will hold their qualifiers in early August. The Little League World Series begins in Williamsport on August 19th. And on our Friday Staycations feature, I'll bring you an interview with Adam Thompson. He runs the World of Little League Museum there. Up next, though, highlights from today's Inside Out feature are Martha Manikas Foster speaks with Barry McGuire, known for Ignite America Ministries, which has a new ministry tool for Gen Zers.
So, Barry, you encourage members of Gen Z to live for God's purpose, in part by using social media. Talk to me about what you see in Gen Z. What do you see that defies the stereotype? And that stereotype is that Gen Zers are easily offended, not so highly motivated, and digitally addicted teens and young adults. And you laugh at this. So why are you laughing at that?
Well, from personal experience. I mean, I heard all that. You know what?
Tell me.
They're turned off to the same old, the feel-good sermons, the hypocrisy, the passing of the offering plates, the emptiness of the Christian message that we're preaching today. And quite frankly, I'm with them. I feel exactly the same way.
You find that they're quite engaging, right?
Martha, they want truth. They're tired of the phony baloney. They're tired of the happy service. You go in, you go out, and there's no food. They want truth. They're tired of untruths. They want truth. God is the author of truth. Guess what? This God knows you. He created you in your mother's womb. He's never left you. He knows your every thought. He loves you. He wants to direct your steps. He wants to give you meaning. They say, what? Because they want meaning in their life. They don't want to have emptiness anymore. You mean I can have a relationship with God and I can actually introduce them to God? You mean I can do that? Yes. You particularly can do that because you're in the front line. Our only hope is Gen Zers. I believe that, Martha. They have the fervency. They just don't have the truth. It's our job to give them the truth. And when we do that, man, they're off and running. It's exciting. There's a God who loves us and wants to direct our steps and help us in everything we're doing and use us, and inspire us and give us peace every day. I mean, who doesn't want that?
I used to be a youth group leader, and I remember listening to other people speak and talking about youth being the future of the church and thinking, no. They are the present of the church.
They are the church.
Yes, exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I have talked with missiologists who have said that the atmosphere is not so much that people are saying, I'm done with Christianity. We have a generation that doesn't know anything about it. So evangelism is fresh news to them. It's not news I've rejected necessarily. It's news I've never heard before.
That's it. The people we love to hate, the kids on the street, get a one-on-one. Well, they're not evil. They're lost because of us. Their only hope is us. So we've on side. Only about 1% of us are intensely sharing our faith every day. That's the problem.
Barry McGuire with Ignite America Ministries, today's guest on Inside Out with Martha Manikas Foster. You can hear the entire feature and all of our Family Life original news features at Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, and FamilyLife.org. This is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Financial success can be a blessing, but it can never prove our hearts are right with God. Hi, I'm Rob West with today's Faith and Finance Minute. In Hosea 12, God confronts Ephraim for corrupt business practices and spiritual pride. Yet Ephraim says, I am very rich, I have become wealthy, and then assumes no guilt will be found in him. In other words, Israel treated prosperity as proof of innocence. Their wealth became evidence in their minds that God must be pleased. That's a dangerous mistake. A growing income, a successful business, or a comfortable lifestyle does not automatically mean our hearts are surrendered to the Lord. The question is not only whether we are prospering, but whether we are walking faithfully with God. We can help you learn to manage your money according to biblical principles when you download the free FaithFi app. You'll find it on our website at faithfi.com.
All right, finally at 5, Gilbert Martin is living proof that age really is just a number. He retired after 40 years in the natural gas industry, and he didn't have to work anymore, but quickly found out that just sitting around, well, that wasn't for him either.
And how you doing today, sir? Have you been waited on?
So at 92 years young, he's spent the past 6 years as Mr. Gill, a beloved dining room fixture at a Chick-fil-A in Wilmington, North Carolina. Owner Mike Perdue tells WRAL they're grateful to have him around.
Comes in every day, has that tie on. He's a great person. You don't come across too many people like that. The customers love him.
And Mr. Gill loves his customers.
To make sure that the tables are clean, the floor is clean. The main thing is I take care of people out here first. If you enjoy what you're doing, it's not work. I don't know what 92 is supposed to be, but I feel great. I get a lot of people that are coming in just going to the doctor or just been to the doctor and got bad news and so forth. And I'm able to be an encourager. The Lord gave me that.
Being an encourager is a wonderful gift indeed. The owner says Mr. Gill's kindness leaves a lasting impression on everyone he meets. And that's the world we live in for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Thank you again for joining us. I'm Mark Webster, Family Life News.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.